The following days after the fight, Mel had a lot of things going through her mind, especially regarding the magic that happened. She didn't know really who she could speak with, as magic was quite unknown in her own family. So she decided to seek up the only person that she knew she could probably talk about the whole thing with. But as she stood in front of the door, she couldn't help but feel a bit nervous.
As the sound of knocking echoes away, you hear someone moving on the other side of the door. And with a controlled force, the door is opened in front of you. And you see Alessandro standing, dressed up in full suit, even if it's a day off. Oh, hi, Melora. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm kind of good. Do you have time? I kind of need to ask you a couple of questions.
Oh, yeah, sure. Come on in.
Thank you.
And Melora walks into the room.
The following weekend, Alessandro has taken Melora with him to her first magical training lesson ever. Okay, it's your first time, so I don't think they expect much of you, and you have never really done magic in any kind of sense before, so you don't need to be nervous or anything. Everyone is understanding of the position you're in.
Okay. And hey, Alessandro?
Yeah?
Thanks for the help. I didn't really know who I should speak with.
No problem. And Alessandro continues his way up in the corridor towards the room. As Alessandro opens the door to the training room, you get a sudden sense of mystery and relative power just from the very presence of all these students. You know all of their faces. Hero students. Not much of a surprise, given that it's just the magical training for hero students right now. But some of them you did not really expect to be there. Aenasir, of course, and given the origin of Alex's power, not that much of a surprise either, but Elspeth is also there. Alessandro takes a confident step forward before turning towards you, Melora. Come on, there's nothing to be afraid of.
Roger Dodger.
And Alessandro makes his way to the rest of the students.
Alessandro, you're quite late with Melora, I see.
Sorry, Runecarver, I needed to dress up a little before I came here.
No matter. Just go to the others. Oh, right, Melora.
And Runecarver makes her way towards you.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
Politeness. A good trait. While this is basic training, this might be a bit too advanced for you at the moment. Let me have a look at you.
And she licks you over, head to toe. It's kind of a strange feeling. You definitely feel like you're being watched, but the mask covers her eyes, so sight should be impossible, but you still feel it.
Seems your magic is tied to water. Am I correct?
Yeah, it appears to be.
I see. I know one of the students grasped the basics quite well already and has tangentially related powers to you. Aenasir,
Oh yes, Runecarver, what is it?
could you please take Melora to the other side of the room and teach her some basic spiritual connection between her and her magic? I believe your expertise should be quite sufficient here.
Oh, it would be my greatest honor, Runecarver.
Oh, please spare your sweet talk.
Of course, Runecarver. Hey, Melora, let's get to the other side of the room for a little bit. I think you will need the minor solitude it would provide.
Oh, okay. I'll follow you.
Great, but try and keep it at my pace. I don't have your legs.
Melora blushes.
And Aenasir takes you to the other side of the training room. Okay, Melora. You remember the talk I had with you about how magic works, right?
I think I do.
Well, that's just wonderful. Okay. So, you are one of those people that have a connection to magic and a natural source inside of them. Meaning that you should be able to grasp the intricacies of magic quite easily.
Alright, if you say so.
Don't doubt yourself, Melora. I mean, you're quite a capable person as you are already. I believe that magic should just be another piece of cake for you.
I hope so. I didn't even know I could do this.
Few do. Few do indeed. We're going to do something very basic today. Sit down. Just here, right in front of me. And Eanasir sits down in a very slouchy manner, betraying no sense of regard or modesty in his position.
Melora follows suit.
Now, sit in a position that you feel comfortable in. You need to do some introspection here, and the outside environment might be cramping your style, or however they say it. Okay, now, as it is, the magic inside you is a part of you. So, what you're going to learn here is not to enrich your soul or anything along those lines. Really, your soul already knows how magic works, and it knows everything it needs to know. It's just that your body and your mind need to catch up.
Okay, so, what do I do?
Well, I want you to just sit down and recount. When was it the first time you cast a spell?
I mean, it should have been last Saturday, I think? Or Friday. No, it was Friday, I think. Oh, maybe a Thursday? It was last week.
Time does not really matter here. I just need to know, what were your situation when you cast it? What were you thinking, feeling? What happened?
I was scared, and I just wanted to protect my friends.
Okay, so it was born from a sense of protection. Okay then, try to replicate that feeling, or at least remember it. And while you do, try to look into yourself. It might sound fluffy, but you should be able to do it when you, well, put your mind to it. Try to find that space where your magic is residing, those feelings, that very core of your soul.
Melora looks at him a bit confused, but she still closes her eyes, trying to focus. As she turns into herself, she feels a sense of being on a beach, the sun gassing over her, emitting her with rays of warm sunshine. And by her, the ocean. As she looks over the waves, there's a sense of calm, a sense of home. And as she watches them, the waves start to grow larger and larger, and the feeling of dread washing over her as it had done the week before. And as she blinks her eyes, she's swallowed by one of the waves, feeling it starting to vortex around her. She feels panic, that same feeling she had the week before, and she feels herself tighten her jaw. She takes a deep breath, trying to keep calm, and a sudden sense of relief washes over her, and she feels herself almost float out of the vortex. She opens her eyes, and she's once again standing on that same beach, the water as calm as ever. Melora feels her eyes open widely, and she looks over to her side, meeting up with the Eanasir's eyes.
He gives you a small smile and points right beside you. And as you look to the side, you see a sphere of water flowing beside you. You notice that one of the water bottles Eanasir has brought with him is empty. You did that.
Wait, I did that?
You sure did.
That's so cool!
Eanasir starts smiling for your jubilation, and you kind of get a strange feeling. It's not a smile you've seen before. There's no smugness, no sense of control. This might be the first time he has genuinely smiled in front of you. It quickly dissipates to his ordinary grin, but you do kind of feel that something happened there. Yes, it's absolutely amazing. Ah, you did so well. Just what I expected from your first time here.
Melora blushes a bit and gives him a bright smile.
Thank you for helping me.
No, I didn't help you at all. I just told you the beginnings of his journey. You took all the steps yourself. And he kind of makes a strange face before looking at you again, putting on a dramatically saddened expression. Melora, I think I need to confess something.
Oh?
I am so sorry, but when we first met, I might have not told you the entire truth of my origin.
Really? I mean, you probably had your reasons.
Yes, I sure did. You see, you were just new here, and my dark secrets, they are so horrible to witness sometimes, so I try to limit myself, ensure that others do not get hurt in the process. Now, I think I'm ready to tell you the truth. You see, and he looks away in a dramatic flare. You see, I'm not a fairy, really. I come from somewhere else. I come from the South Pole. You see, I am part of a people that long ago somehow drew the ire of a vengeful god. I do not remember her name, but she cursed us never to truly feel the sun, the warmth, or the growth and fertility of the soil. We were cursed to only feel the cold and wither away in the warmth. Our people, we fled south, so far we could go, until we met a land filled with snow and ice. There we built a new society, a society where we could at least survive. But as time grew on, our king and queen, they learned how to harness the curse that has been laid upon our soul. Use the very ice and cold befallen upon us as a tool, as a source of magic. And as you see, ordinarily, our king can only manipulate ice, but only the true masters, like myself, that has the ice and the curse mastered, can produce cold, and such we can live outside the bounds of our frozen wasteland. And I am here because that shithole is a horrifying place I never want to return to. And that is the tragic story of Prince Frost.
Did you say prince? Like a fairy tale prince?
Oh yes, indeed, I am the prince of one of the high dukedoms of Antarctica. I am, what you would say, a crown prince, a dashing gentleman that saves maidens from trouble.
Melora's eyes sparkle with fascination.
I can tell you more about it another time, but I'm seeing Runecarver eyeing me quite furiously. I believe she wants us to return. Even so, Melora. And he rises up and takes a few steps towards you, putting both hands on your shoulders and his forehead against yours. Well done. You really do have talent. I'm not making that up. And you will be one of the best heroes in this entire course. As he takes a step back, he starts waving with his hand. But not as great as me, of course. But still, we should get going. And he quickly makes his way past you towards Runecarver.
Melora feels her face heat up, and she does her quickest to pat away the heat.
Oh god. Oh, sweet Neptune. Oh.
And she stands up and starts walking after him.